so that they can feel safe and secure, and so that there's not more fear and misunderstanding that will come up if they hear it elsewhere. So you want to make sure you're using age-appropriate language. First, decide what you're going to say and how you're going to say it. Make sure that, you want to choose your words carefully, simplify things, and don't use very graphic language or detail. Sure that you first ask them what they know and listen so that you can find out what have they already heard or what's the sense that they get and how they feel about it. And when you're talking to them, make sure that you give them the facts. Tell them the truth in age-appropriate language. Don't be dishonest or and you don't have to give detail, but you want to make sure that you're being honest with them.
That was going to be kind of my next question, asking about what we do censor, because we can't flat out tell them everything we're seeing. It upsets us. And so to even tell an elementary, middle school student everything we're seeing, but at the same time, they have access to the internet. They have access to their friends where parents may handle it differently. So what do we censor and how?
Yeah, so it depends on their age. So you can ask them again what they've heard, make sure you're sharing your feelings. You can do anything from sometimes people try to hurt others for no good reason, but most people would never do that. Make sure that they know how they can feel safe and secure in whatever environment that they are in. Have them talk about their feelings and show them that you have feelings too. So you don't want to have lots of overreactive feelings. So, you don't want to be crying uncontrollably in front of them or throwing things and getting very angry, but you want to show them that it is healthy to have feelings and that you're feeling as well, and that they have a function. I always talk to parents about making sure that you're supporting and reassuring your children, looking for any red flags of their own. Like if you see a change in behavior or emotions over time, make sure that you seek out support of a licensed mental health professional like myself.
And I was going to address that as well, just talking about what are some things, they may not come to you and say, Mom, this is really bothering me. They may be acting out in different ways, right? There's some other signs that we could potentially look for to know that maybe this is bothering them more than we know.
Absolutely. So changes in their mood, changes in their behavior. So they're eating, they're sleeping, they're acting. So you want to make sure you're looking out for that, and you have to be spending time with and knowing your children to be able to see that difference. And another thing that can sometimes be helpful is empowering your children to do something to help so that they don't feel as helpless, whether that's donating, writing cards to first responders, choosing something that they want to do so that they can feel like they are giving back and helping in some way can be very helpful too.
And talk a little bit about how we talk about what to do in a situation like this. Obviously, there's guidance at schools, but this is not just happening at schools. These shootings are happening in grocery stores. They're happening in churches. They're happening all over. So I know as adults, you hear people say, I walk in and I have a plan. I know there's the exit. How do you have that conversation with your child? Because at the end of the day, there is a measure of safety. There needs to be a plan, but you don't want to scare them. You don't want them to be scared walking into church or into a grocery store. But does there need to be a plan, and do you address that plan with them?
Absolutely. So first you want to make sure that you're reaffirming their safety, right? Most schools are safe and they can feel comfortable in their schools. Make sure that, you're reviewing safety protocols with them. So help them identify an adult at school or somebody that in the community that they can go to if they're not feeling safe in any way, right? And review safeguards and procedures that exist at school and at your own home. So again, in a way that you can, and answer their questions and just be there for support.
And I hate that we have to talk about this, that this is even something on our radar, but it is, and there is a lot of help out there. Thank you for joining us. We know you're always available, and people within your profession available to help, but also the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If you or someone you know might be struggling right now, there are so many resources out there. You can